Hi, in this lecture I will be focusing on inverter, its purpose and where it is used, and will give you some simple example of the use of the inverter, and also will comment on the pulse width modulation over here. So the purpose of inverter, as already told you, that it was to convert DC power into AC power, and we can have many devices which can be used with DC and with AC. But normally at homes we have AC appliances, and for functioning of those appliances we have to have AC power which is being given to them. So we can have different sources of power like solar power, which can be uh, stored into some DC batteries, and from where that power, if we want to give that power to our AC appliances at home, then we have to convert that power which is stored in the batteries in the DC version. We have to transform that power with the help of inverter into AC power. So inverter is used to convert the DC power into AC power, which can be further utilized by the AC appliances. We can see from this diagram that what is the DC power like of. We have, for example, if over here a bulb which can be operated by a DC power source, and in that diagram there is only one direction of power. It is from here to here or from here to here, only one direction, not two directions. So in that case I can assume that the power is going from here towards here, and it's like a kind of river which is always at its peak, and it is flowing from one direction to other direction. And then we can see the example of the AC power. If the same bulb is being attached to an AC power source, then the power will flow in two directions. For one half cycle it will be flowing from here to there, and for the other half cycle it will be flowing from the other direction. So it can be a kind of this waveform which can tell us about that AC power, where we can have half cycles, half positive, half negative, and normally the AC power is of 50 to 60 hertz with 220 volts supply. So we can have example of AC power like in the sea. We can see that we have different tides of different high and low level, and they can be moving forward as well as backwards. So that can be a very simple example of the AC power. So the inverters are primarily used to convert a DC power into an AC power, so that it can be used by appliances at home. Like I have told previously as well, we have, for example, if we have a photovoltaic cell, then it is getting energy, solar energy from the sun, transforming into electrical energy, and being stored. That energy, which is electrical energy, is stored in some DC battery over here. Over here there is no DC battery, but that DC power is directly being fed to the inverter, from where it is transformed into the AC power, and which can be used for the home appliances. So we can also have a car battery, which is a storage device for the DC power, and it can be connected with the inverter, which can transform that DC power into AC, and which can be used by the lamp or the home appliance. So the previously was a simple example of the inverters. Now we can see some more complex example of the inverters, in which we can think about the variable frequency drives which are operating the motors at different frequencies. Like you can see over here, we have, whenever we want to change the speed of the motor, so we have that kind of mechanism of variable frequency drives, in which we have AC signal, AC power is coming at the input of a rectifier, from where it is being transformed into the DC power, and then that DC power is being fed to the inverters, and which are transforming them into some other frequency AC signal. So the inverters, this is another example, complicated example of an inverter of when it is being used in the variable frequency drives of the motor. So over here we can have a constant frequency AC signal, which is uh, restraining our, which is making our motor move at a particular speed, and the speed of the motor is fixed. While when after transformation from the rectifier into DC, and after DC transformation into a variable frequency AC signal, the motor can now regulate between high and low speeds of operation. We can have another simplified example of the inverter circuit. By looking at this circuit, you can see we have a DC voltage source over here, and we can have four switches over here, and we have a load which is an AC load, which can be a bulb. And we can see that we can switch S1 and S4 on, and S2 and S3 off. When this is the arrangement, then from the positive and the negative terminal of the battery, the current will be flowing from positive to negative, and it will flow towards S1 switch because it is on, and then it will flow through the load, and then it will be flowing through S4 switch and then draining to the negative terminal. And when we have S1 S4 off and S2 S3 on, then in that case the current will be flowing from this positive terminal of the battery towards the load through the S2 switch, through the load, through the bulb, and through S3 switch, and then drain over here. So we can do this switching of S1 S4 and S2 S3 very fast at the rate of 50 hertz or 60 hertz, and in that case we can make that AC load function on the basis of DC source, and this load will think of that DC source as a AC signal. As you can see from here, it will be low, high and low, high and low at the rate of 50 hertz, and this is a kind of DC by which a DC source can on an AC load. But there is a problem over here, that we have square wave over here, and it is high and low, and the sharp edges of that square wave, because it is not purely sinusoidal, which is required by the AC load to operate with that sine wave signal like this. So in that case it can damage the AC load or the circuit. So what we have to do in order to avoid this, and we have to smoothen it just like a kind of AC signal, then we will be using the pulse width modulation. This pulse width modulation will be using some IGBTs over here, and we have a DC source, and these IGBTs can turn on and off at a very fast rate, and with that way we can have this kind of environment where our switches can be on and off at a very faster rate than 50 to 60 hertz, and for one half cycle they are oning and offing for about 5 to 6 times more, so that there is a kind of pulse width modulation environment created, and there are multiple square waves in one half cycle of different widths, and then these kind of square waves when reach the AC load, then it will think of it like this kind of signal, which can be an AC signal, and it will not damage the AC signal. So over here we can see that for a three-phase motor what it happens over here, because it is a three-phase motor and we can have a complicated circuit for a three-phase load. We can see that the direction of current uh, we will be having two IGBTs on at a time. These two on at a time, the current will flow from here to here towards the motor and then drain from here to here, and then after 120-degree phase difference, these two will be on and current will flow from here to here towards the motor, and then it will be draining from here, and then after 120-degree phase difference, all other IGBTs will be off and only these two will be on, and the direction of current will be from here to here towards the motor and then towards over here, and then it will drain. So in this way, the three-phase motor can be on, and with the help of pulse width modulation, and all the switches are switching at a very fast and high rate, and then with the help of pulse width modulation, we can have an inversion environment where the DC power is converted into the AC power, and we can with the help of inverter we can do what we can play our AC loads with the help of DC sources, and we can have inverter in between them, and pulse width modulation is a very best example of that. Thank you very much.